Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the Indien-Panzer. It's a Tier 8 German medium tank. It's located on the north spawn of El Halluf, and this one is under the command of SlyMeerkat, and we got another double header featuring Sly with the Indien-Panzer. Right, let's see how he gets on. Game on. Now, we featured this tank the last time, I think it was about a month or so ago, and it was Spaceman from Hell who was driving it on that occasion. This rather colourful version is being driven by Sly, and he's got a 90mm gun capable of 250 alpha and penetrating 218mm with standard ammo, and with premium ammo that goes up to 259mm, and he's got a couple of HE rounds just in case. Now, the Indien-Panzer was a proposal by Porsche and Daimler and Zahnradfabrik to actually manufacture a tank for the Indian Army. In fact, there was two companies vying for the business: Porsche, Daimler, and the other company, as I mentioned, and the other one was Vickers. And Vickers were proposing the Mark 1 tank, which the Indians would actually manufacture in their own country, and that would be called, well, it was the Vickers Mark 1, but it was going to be called the Viijayanta. Gets a nice shot into the Barask, deciding to get out of it because he's in tremendous danger of being wiped out. Remember, he's got an autoloader with 2 shots. If he doesn't make good use of those shells, then I'm afraid he will get basically holed by everyone else while he's reloading. Okay, managed to get around into the Scorpion G. Goes for the gun shield. Yes, gets it. Very vulnerable to HE rounds, and that's why I use them. Goes for the AMX. Didn't get a hit, but he might get with the next shot. Yes, he gets into the ammunition, the bustle at the rear. Shot on the enemy engine. Yep. But he got one in return, and he did better with 242, so not quite a fair exchange. And he takes out the 5100, who wasn't particularly happy, but he wasn't looking in the right direction. Now we've got a Skoda T27. Okay, we've got a Panther 2, not paying attention, just drives out in front. Try to get the gun down, gets it down for 250 off that shot, a high roll, well, average roll actually, not high roll. Gets another one in, kills the Panther 2. The gun depression is 10 degrees, but he's having difficulty with the slopes here. Puts one into the Skoda, who keeps on carrying off, even getting a high roll. We get another one in which tracks him, and he does take damage, but we're taking all 3 shots from his autoloader. But now we're going to punish him because he's in reload, and he's on a long time on reload, and he takes another round. We get the kill shots. We might go to, but there's a Progetto over there, so we need to deal with that one first. One more shot to kill the Progetto. Yep, got him. Now the Skoda is probably coming up because he's loaded, and yes, Sly was working out, can he reverse bound this slope, because he knows that Skoda's now loaded and ready to unload on him again. He pops round the corner. The enemy team is down to just 4 tanks. Now it's 3 tanks, but he's facing them all because the Skoda T27 and their Indien-Panzer are the only ones left on this corner, and there's a T28 round the other corner. Here's the Skoda. No, he doesn't want to get all 3 of those shells. In fact, the Skoda is basically 2 shots. So if we get, oh, the IS-6B got him instead. The Indien-Panzer's gone. T28 tries to get the cupola, pulls back. Can he get a side shot into him? Goes for the engine bay, gets it, and it's a low roll, but that is the last of the enemy, and this game is a win. The second replay is on the north spawn of Steppes, and you'll notice, and I forgot to mention it in the previous battle, that Sly's actually got 2 marks of excellence on the barrel of his Indien-Panzer, so he's been playing it quite a lot. Now, one of the 2 major reasons, I suppose you could say, why the Indien-Panzer never got actually built in India is because it was considered too complicated to build. It was quite an interesting design, but just a little too difficult for the Indians to put into mass manufacture. And of course, the British offered the Indians quite a big deal, which meant that the first 60 or so tanks were actually being built in the UK, so they had some tanks straight away. But of course, at the same time as they were building them, they were training the Indians up on how to build them themselves, and then they built the factories out in India and provided the Indians with all they needed, including schools, developed works, a research facility. In fact, the Indians were totally independent from that point on. They could actually build their own tanks using everything that the British had set up for them, and so they weren't dependent on the British at all for anything after they'd completed all the factory builds. And in fact, actually, the Viijayanta was actually a very successful tank, a very good design. And he gets his first hit on a Type 61 Chinese tank in the distance. Didn't get that one though. It's a fairly accurate 90mm gun. The stock gun is an 88mm, but the 90mm is fairly accurate. TVP, can't miss that. Tier 10. Going to earn much more XP from hitting tier 10 tanks. Gets a sly one into the CS59 as he pulls back. No pun intended, sly, when I said that. Okay, there's a Centurion 7-1 down there. They are quite dangerous tanks, but he's actually virtually out of hit points. He's kind of hoping that that guy's going to come over the rise, in which case he'll put a round into him, finish him off. He's having to try and get past this fox, who seems to be ignoring what's going on. And now Sly's got himself hooked up on the rock. He needs to maintain his damage level in this game in order to move up. Only 801 hit points so far. Nice shot into the enemy list. Go for another one. Oh, it didn't pen. And the list is down. Now the thing about the Viijayanta is that although it was built by Vickers, it was actually quite an interesting design in terms of it was a heavy tank, but a heavy tank on the kind of lines of the Centurion. So it was a successful tank with good armour. Well, he took a gun there in the took a shot into his gun. So he's had to fix that straight away by using his repair kit, because it will affect the accuracy, and it means there's an enemy tank up in the tree line up there, so probably in that spot, yeah, the usual spot where they hide. Either that, or is it where the Arty normally goes? There's somebody up there, and he's obviously needs somebody to spot for him. There's a few tanks up ahead of us. And the Pantera's gone, so that's another one. There are 5 tanks up on the enemy now, but he's a bit worried about moving forward because, yeah, he's just testing the bushes at the moment to see where they are. But if he tries to push too fast, he could actually take a lot of damage. But I think he's worried that if he doesn't move fast, he won't get the damage he needs, and he needs a lot. Okay, he was spotted there, so he's manoeuvring as much as he can to avoid getting hit. Now he's in the ground depression, so he's okay, he's safe here for the moment. But he's spotted. Oh, there's the enemy Arty. Oh, that. Yep, M53, M55. He only got one shot in. Needs another one. Yep, got him. T103's gone. There's a tortoise over there. But there's still an enemy tank up on that tree line. At least I think there is. Yes, there he is. It's a Star 2. He blocked a shot from the start earlier. The one that was the shot that hit the gun. Fires on the move at the ISU 152, but it doesn't work. He's trying to outflank that Star. Yeah, oh, the Star's watching him. Yep, the Star is looking at him. I'd hazard a guess that the reason the Star's looking at him, because obviously he knows that an Indien-Panzer's got a good gun, but also probably that he's looked at Sly's stats, maybe XVM focusing because he knows that Sly is a very good player. Nice shot right into the rear of the Star 2, pulled back, fired one in Sly's direction but bounced off the armor, tried another one on the move, and he's now going to try and get behind this rock so he can take on the Tortoise. Tortoise is side on, he's helping the STB, puts one round into the Tortoise, go for another one, try and track him in place. Yep, got him. Hold the guy here and he can't go anywhere, he's a dead. Another round in, there's only one more needed to get the kill. Yep, farms him. Nicely done.
Thanks a lot.
And he got the thank you there. And his gun's up as well, so I think he's happy. Okay, well, there's only two enemies left, and they're both on this side of the map. It's the E75 and the Object 277. The 75 obviously is tier 9, the 277 is tier 10, so obviously he's going to be hitting higher tier opponents with a 90mm gun. This is where it gets interesting. He might need to load the premium ammo to the side of the 75. Just get behind him, track him, and he goes down, and that's the last kill. His gun's up and he's happy. You can see where that Star 2 hit him, right in the side of the barrel. Here's the end of battle results, and in the first game that was an ace tanker game for SlyMeerkat in the Indien-Panzer. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one he got 6, he got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle, and he picked up the high caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall, despite the fact that he actually had to take on some enemy who were determined to get at him. When it came to team score, let's have a look. 4,139 hit points to Sly, 3,127 to the IS-6B, and then the next high score after that was the KV-4 on his team with 2,271. Their high scorer was also their Indien-Panzer, would you believe it? Yes, in the right hands it can be quite an effective tank. When it came to kills, it was the Progetto who did the best with 4 kills. 3 kills went to Sly, so second place, and third place went to the IS-6B and the T-77 on his own team, and the Progetto on the enemy team with 2 kills each. Only 2 tanks on the enemy team actually managed to get kills, would you believe that? He killed one of them, in fact it was the AMX-50B, in fact I think he killed that one as well, didn't he? Is that one of the ones he killed? Yes, he killed both of the tanks who actually got kills on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, it was Sly because he was a tier lower than the other ones. In fact, I think he was tier lower. I'm not sure about that. I think actually he was top tier in that game. 1,335 went to Sly, 1,107 went to the IS-6B, and 956 went to the Progetto. 20 shots fired, 18 direct hits, 17 penetrations, damage of 4,139 hit points, all of it done at close range. 4 hits received, all 4 were penetrations, and 3 of those shots actually came from the Skoda T27. There was not a lot he could do about those rounds. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 3 killed, and he earned 34,766 credits on a premium count, 15,645 from battle payments, a total of 67,794 credits altogether. After repair and ammunition resupply, and he only used standard ammo in this game, 53,509 credits profit, 1,335 XP, 2,003 altogether to take away. So a very good round for Sly, considering he used standard ammo throughout to get the high caliber and an ace tanker. I think that's pretty good going, especially considering those enemy tanks were obviously very keen to kill him. Let's have a look at the second battle. That was a third mark game, that one. He got an ace tanker. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, even though it's showing 4 there, but it says 5. Anyway, he got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, and he also got a Confederate medal because he hit more of the enemy than anyone else on his team in that game. He didn't get the highest damage in this one. That went to the STB-1, which he helped out with the Tortoise. 4,232 hit points of damage went to him, 3,819 went to the Object 277 on the enemy team, and then it's Sly with 3,717 in third place. When it came to kills, he actually got joint second place in that one, because the STB1 and both Lisses on his own team managed to get 3 kills apiece. In fact, the Lisses were actually in platoon together, and Sly managed to get 2 kills along with the Object 277 on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, he was right at the top because he was tier 8 in a tier 10 game, so he was getting extra XP for all the higher tier opponents he was actually hitting, especially that Tortoise who he kept smacking into the drive wheel. 1,366 base experience points to him, 1,093 went to the STB1, and 1,047 went to the Super Conqueror, and these were the only guys over 1,000. He fired 28 rounds in this game, 20 direct hits, 15 penetrations. He did fire a few rounds at bushes just to try and find out where that STA-2 was located. 3,717 hit points of damage. In this one, 2,010 were done at more than 300 meters. Yes, because it was a tier 10 game, he was trying to avoid getting holed himself and actually fire at long range as a sniper. 3 hits received, 3 non-penetrations. He was lucky in the sense because those rounds actually hit the gun or actually hit the track, so he actually avoided any damage. 720 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 10 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 killed, and 2,603 hit points of damage resistance. On a premium count, he earned 37,072 credits in this game, but he did have to fire a lot of premium ammo because these were higher tier opponents with more armor, and he ended up with only 6,208 credits profit to take away. 1,366 XP, 2,049 experience points to take away, so I think that was a very good third mark game, and he's got third marks on the his third mark on the barrel now. So yes, people will fear an Indien-Panzer when they see it with 3 marks because it can take on tier 10 opponents and beat them. I hope you enjoyed those both those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.